Here's Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
You know, I'm more convinced than ever that a great portion of our adult effort is invested in the quest for that which we saw as unreachable in childhood. Somehow we just never quite get away from those unmet needs in our formative years. A friend of mine named Diane had a father who never seemed to meet the needs for love and attention and belonging that a daddy should satisfy in his little girl. Even today, this man just seems oblivious to the pain that he caused his daughter. But Diane used to find herself constantly disappointed and hurt and rejected each time he failed to come through, until she learned one day, quite by accident, that her dad had himself been severely abused and wounded as a child. His own father and mother had died when he was a boy, and he went to live with his aunt, who was so severe she even forbade him to cry. After hearing this account, Diane suddenly saw her dad in an entirely different light. He was not just a rejecting father, he was a man with a handicap, an emotional handicap. Now, Diane's experience is not that unique in family life. So often those loved ones who continually frustrate and disappoint us are reacting to their own deep wounds from their childhood years. If we can respond compassionately to them instead of expecting them to be what they can't be, we can transform our families from battlegrounds into places of harmony.
Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk. Here's Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
Who are you when no one else is looking? When the shades are drawn and the lights go dim? Are you and I the people everyone thinks we are? The classic children's book, The Velveteen Rabbit, holds within its pages a powerful message about being real. In one scene, we're eavesdropping on a dialogue between a new toy rabbit and an old skin horse. They're lying side by side in the nursery as the rabbit asks the horse what it means to be real. Listen to his answer. "Well, it doesn't happen all at once," said the skin horse. "You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't often happen to people who break easily or have sharp edges or have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you're real, most of your hair has been loved off and your eyes drop out and you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But you see, these things don't matter at all, because once you're real, you can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand." Take a long look at yourself in the mirror. Are you a real person? Do people see the real you when you greet them? Or are they merely seeing one of the many masks that you wear? Becoming real is difficult, but the rewards far outweigh the pain. Remember the words of the old skin horse. Once you're real, you can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand.
Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
If you've ever felt like you're just running in circles, it may be because you are.
Here's Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
An experiment was once carried out by the great French naturalist Jean-Henri Fabre. He took a number of processionary caterpillars, so called because they always march in unison, and he lined them around the inner edge of a flower pot, forming a complete circle. For 3 days, he monitored them as they marched around the edge of the pot. At the end of the third day, he placed some pine needles in the center of the pot. Now, pine needles are what caterpillars eat. So for 4 more days, they walked, never once breaking the circle to look for food. Finally, one at a time, they rolled over dead from starvation. Does that sound a little familiar to you? How many of us have found ourselves wandering aimlessly around the elusive circle of success, trudging day in and day out behind all the other career-oriented caterpillars? All the while, what we truly need to sustain life sits just inches away. If you found yourself breathlessly chasing the guy in front of you, let me suggest that you break free. Take time out to remove your blinders and look for the food your body and soul need. Spend some time with your family. Have some good friends over for dinner. Read a good book just for pleasure. Take a walk with someone you love. Hold a 3-year-old on your lap.
and tell him or her a story. Life is simply too short to be spent plodding around in endless circles.
Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.